Let's do one more mic check, but this one's recorded. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Moving on to D.
It's too much happening.
It is a lot happening. But it's just a mic check. Okay. It's fine.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Go, I'm sorry.
Testing.
I'm going to be as quiet as a church mouse.
Oh, Lord, help us get through this. Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Hello there. You there. Hey now.
I'm not going to entertain this.
I was thinking of something clever to say hello and I couldn't. Hello there. I'm Britt.
And I'm Dee.
Welcome to another episode of
It's a Strange World After All.
The podcast where we discuss true crime cases, the supernatural, conspiracy theories, and all of the things that keep the world strange.
And no, because it threw me off because you skipped over urban legends.
Oh, and urban legends. We got urban legends too. We got it all. We got urban legends. You can come get these conspiracy theories. You can come get a Bigfoot. Come get it all.
Okay. In today's episode, we discuss the strange disappearance of Bobby Dunbar, a young boy who went on a fishing trip with his family and mysteriously vanished.
Robert Clarence Dunbar, known as Bobby Dunbar, was born. It's because every time I say the name Bobby, I think of Bobby. So
I had a feeling.
Want to say it like that every time. Okay. I'll say it right.
Okay.
Robert Clarence Dunbar, known as Bobby Dunbar, was born in April 1908 to parents Leslie and Percy Dunbar in Opelousas, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. On August 23rd, 1912, the Dunbars took 4-year-old Bobby on a fishing trip to Swayze Lake. Swayze? Like Swayze?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Patrick Swayze.
Oh, or like Patrick Swayze Lake. They were staying at their family cabin with Alonzo Dunbar, Bobby's brother, and 11 others.
Bobby wanted to go fishing with a family friend, Paul Mizzy, while his dad was away at work and his mother stayed back to prepare lunch. Paul took both Dunbar boys along with a few others down to the lake. On the way back, Paul remembered carrying Bobby's brother, Alonzo, on his shoulders and joking with Bobby. He also recalled that Bobby was wearing a straw hat and the strap was broken. Paul Mizzy goes on record as the last person to see Bobby Dunbar.
Bum, bum, bum.
And this was, family friend. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
It's too many cases that involve family friends.
Oh, yeah. Or like the kid's friend, someone in their friend's family, like the best friend's dad.
Abducted in plain sight.
Abducted in plain sight. Was the best.
He was a family friend with benefits.
With benefits. He was boofing everybody. By the time the group returned to camp for lunch, Bobby disappeared without a trace. They began searching for him in the nearby woods and around the lake. Wait! What? My man's is missing.
Yeah.
I was about to just pass over it. Oh. I have no idea. Y'all, it's 420. I have no idea. I was just about to pass that. You didn't say nothing either. It was like,
wait, what are you talking about?
The boy is missing. What happened to him?
We already established that.
I know. What happened? What happened to Bobby? Bobby!
Oh my God. It just hit you that he disappeared.
I was like, okay, when this comes up, I'm sure I'll have something to say about it, in preparation.
Yeah.
Just read it and then was just like, wait, he's disappeared.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
I even said, no trace.
You did. Oh my God.
Okay, we can move on. That's fine. We can move on past that. By the next day, over 500 people came out to help find Bobby. When they couldn't find anything, they began to believe he could have been killed by an animal. It's plausible.
Yeah, I agree. Like a gator.
Gators. It is reported that authorities allowed them to find and cut open alligators in the lake in an attempt to find Bobby's body. So they were just out here
cutting open alligators.
Cutting open alligators. Those alligators are like, man, we don't care about this little white kid. I got a family.
Oh, no.
They have a family too. He had to get back home to his, what's the gator from, or what's he, a crocodile in Princess and the Frog?
What is the difference between
Louis? His name was Louis.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know that either, but his name was Louis. You out there cutting Louis up, and he's musically talented. Because you trying to find this little Bobby.
You are stupid.
No, that's pretty messed up. Where was Peter? That's pretty messed up is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, what else are they? How else can they know?
You got to do what you got to do.
They came to the conclusion that if Bobby drowned or was attacked by an alligator.
An alligator? It's a mix between an elephant and an alligator. An alligator. I seen him with my own eyes. I seen him. He was biggest thing I ever seen.
Could somebody draw us a picture of an alligator?
Of an alligator. Merch coming soon.
Let me try that again. They came to the conclusion that if Bobby drowned or was attacked by an alligator in the lake, his hat would have been discovered floating on the surface of the lake.
Full circle.
Oh.
I bet y'all was like, why we care about what his hat, if his hat had a broken strap?
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that.
They might have, out there in podcast land, might have been thinking
maybe. What?
No, I said they might have been like, why?
Oh, why
do we care about his hat?
Important?
Yeah,
oh,
yes.
Okay.
The Dunbar family returned back to Opelousas, but Paul, Mizzy, and a few others stayed back and continued to search for Bobby. They found a set of bare footprints leading toward a bridge heading out of the swamp. Not to be confused
with a bear.
They didn't find bear footprint. BEAR. It was like a bear, like naked footprints.
Yes.
Bear.
What do you call a bear?
Go ahead. What was it? You don't remember it. It was...
With no socks? I just messed this whole joke up.
Because I know you call a bear with no feet. No feet. Damn, you ain't got no feet. What do you? Yeah,
what do you call a bear with no socks?
Barefoot.
Yeah.
But there was still no clear evidence on what could have happened to Bobby. The Dunbars were convinced that Bobby was kidnapped and offered a $6,000 reward for his return. Do you think he was kidnapped?
No.
No? Why don't you think he was kidnapped?
Because I think I already know what happened.
Oh, but you can't say it yet.
Yeah, I'll save it for the end.
Okay.
And it's the most simple explanation.
I just don't see how he could have been kidnapped
if it were that many people. Okay, so it was them and it said 11 others?
Yes.
But how many went to the lake? Did they all go to the lake? Or was it just Bobby and Paul and Bobby's brother?
No, there was more. He had like a gang of people with him. I think like a couple of children with him. He was responsible for. But it said they were
staying in the cabin, but I think only those 3 went to the lake.
No, I think more than just those. That's what I'm saying. I think the way that it's told is that he had a gang of children with him. So it would have been a little difficult for him. Well, not difficult for him to keep up, but you know what I mean? Yeah. More than 2 kids is a lot to keep up, especially if you're the only adult.
1 kid, isn't it?
I lost my kid, my 1 kid. Yeah, and especially walking in the woods.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he was kidnapped, because how does that happen and you're with them?
What?
Like how do you not notice?
Maybe it was too much going on, like, and he was distracted. Like all of the kids.
That's true.
And he was distracted, and then the person kidnapped him.
That's true, because 4 is still like a toddler, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they were all kind of around the same age, a room full of toddlers is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe okay, Paul. You're not on my hit list. You ain't on my hit list just yet, Paul.
Mine either. I don't think. There were different theories on how someone could have taken Bobby from the group and gotten away undetected.
They were saying, what is it? BuzzFeed Unsolved. They were saying maybe someone got in a boat, like was waiting, watching the group, found the perfect time, kidnapped Bobby, got in a boat and like rode back into another town, or even like with the footprints, maybe he snatched him up and then walked back to like the train tracks and went to a different town.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's plausible.
Local law enforcement even contacted New Orleans authorities 130 miles away to search for Bobby. Bobby's father, Percy, also went to New Orleans and passed out nearly 700 copies of his son's picture.
He was serious.
He was on it.
I don't even know. I was like, they have pictures?
Oh my God.
They had pictures in the 1912s.
Wait, did they?
Obviously, because he handed them out. But it's like, they had pictures back then that they could pass out. Not that, because of course they've had photos since like slavery days, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like little postcard photos.
I thought you were about to say Polaroids.
I was about to say that after they had a take a picture and then you shake it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A detective agency made postcards with Bobby's picture and physical description, mentioning a mole on his neck and a burn on his foot. They mailed them to different county officials from East Texas to Florida. East Texas represent. Tyler.
I was going to say, is that Tyler?
I mean, in that area, yeah. Tyler.
After an 8-month-long search, a young boy matching Bobby's description had been found in Mississippi. The boy was traveling with William Cantwell Walters, a laborer who repaired pianos and organs. Walters told the police that the boy was Charles Bruce Anderson, the illegitimate son of his brother and a woman named Julia Anderson. She was the family's maid.
Escándalo.
Oh, I just got it.
Yeah, it's like a scandal. It feels like a Telemundo, like a soap opera.
I didn't even catch that at first.
Yes. Also, just to confirm Walter's connection with the boy, then that makes him the boy's uncle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not like walking around with a random boy.
Or is he? Let's get into it. According to Walters, Julia permitted him to take her son to visit relatives in Mississippi. Mississippi.
You better not.
What was I going to do, huh? Tell me what I was going to do.
Nothing.
It just made me think of P-Valley.
Yeah.
Quick letter I, quick letter I, humpback I, Mississippi prop. According to Walters, Julia permitted him to take her son to visit relatives in Mississippi. The police weren't convinced, and Walters was arrested for kidnapping. He was taken to Opelousas to stand trial. That escalated quick.
It did. That's why I was like,
I've just taken my nephew into town. He's like, what? There's a boy missing? I don't know nothing about no.
How did it go from that to him being arrested?
I don't know. They were just like, hey, no, he looks a little nephew, you say. He don't look like he would have a nephew. Like, what about him?
That is ridiculous.
What about him? Weren't they convinced about? Was taking him to get some ice cream, man. The Dunbars traveled to Mississippi to identify the boy. At first, the Dunbars were unsure the boy was Bobby. Leslie Dunbar was quoted as saying, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's how. I don't know. I'm not sure. The boy even cried and acted as if he was afraid of the Dunbars.
What more proof do you need?
I think this is a good sign that Charles Bruce does not belong to them, because he said his name was Bruce Anderson.
Yes. What?
She's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
And the baby's like, oh God, I want my mom. I want my real mom. Take him away.
Oh, wow. This
is what we were doing in 1912. It was a wild, wild west back then.
Apparently. When Leslie came to see the boy the next day, she gave him a bath. She recognized the mole on his neck and a scar on his foot. Bobby's identifying mark was the burn on his foot. So maybe it is. After this bath, Leslie claimed that this was absolutely her son.
So maybe it is.
Maybe.
That's how you said it. So maybe it is. This feels.
Because I'm still a little skeptical.
This still feels like a Nicholas Barclay, because she's like, oh my God, he has the same tattoo. Oh, it must be you. This is absolutely my son. On April 25th, 1913, the Dunbars took the boy back to Opelousas, where there was a parade to celebrate Bobby's return. What?
Because this whole thing is just over the top.
They were just like, he's home. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, they had a circus.
Yeah.
They had clowns
it's
perform.
A bit dramatic.
It was dramatic. I mean, but their son is home, so.
They didn't throw the parade.
Oh, you're saying the parents themselves didn't throw the parade?
It was the town.
That's what happens when white kids are returned. Julia Anderson arrived in Louisiana on May 1st to corroborate Walter's story and prove his innocence. Julia had a hard time identifying the child.
Lord.
Wait. Had a hard time identifying the child as her son, Bruce. To make matters worse, the boy appeared distant and detached from Julia.
That little boy do not know what's going on.
Are you my mom? Wait. So in BuzzFeed Unsolved, they brought up the fact that the Dunbars were, they weren't wanting for anything. They had a good deal of
spoiling him. Yeah.
They bought him a bike and a pony. So the kid's like,
You know what?
Do I want to go back to Julia? Julia, look at me. Do this for us. You got other kids already. It's too many of us.
Could you imagine?
I'm just trying to get life. They gave me a pony, Julia. Wait, what is it? I ain't never seen this one before in my life. This woman could walk right up to me. I wouldn't know a thing.
Man, that's messed up.
It is messed up. And he's only like 5 at this point. Well, yeah, 4 or 5 at this point. Yeah. 5. Smart kid. Boss baby. Let me weigh out the pros and cons.
The next day, Julia got permission to inspect the boy's body. She was certain that this was her son and attempted to leave with him. Unfortunately, word spread that she initially failed to recognize him the day before, so her claims were deemed invalid. That is not funny.
You done messed up. I mean, but what was it? Were you drunk? How can you not identify your own child?
Yeah, and it's only been a year.
No, I don't know.
So you should know. Feel like any mother would know. On top of that, the newspapers were questioning her character because she was an unwed mother. At the time, this was frowned upon. Sad.
She's a harlot. Because she's a Jezebel. No, I'm just kidding. I'm from their point of view, they're like, no, I mean, she can't be trusted.
She was the help.
She was the help.
Yeah. So maybe that's why he didn't marry her. I don't know.
That doesn't mean that that's not her kid, though.
Exactly.
They're being awful to her. Julia was unable to pay for a lawyer, so the case didn't go to court. She had to return to North Carolina without her son. Julia went back to Louisiana to try to get her son. This time, she had a residence from Poplarville. That's not a real place. This is not a real place. Pleasantville was where she came from. Apparently, there's a Poplarville, Mississippi. From Poplarville, Mississippi, who knew Walter and saw her son in Mississippi at the time of Bobby's disappearance. This would rule out any possibility that he was Bobby Dunbar.
There you have it.
So she rolled up with her crew.
Yeah, basically. Because Julia had no money for a lawyer and was from out of town, it was determined in court that the boy was the Dunbar's missing son. What?
I'm sorry, Julia. This is privilege, and you just didn't make the cut. I'm sorry, Julia.
From that moment on, the boy found in Mississippi was legally recognized and lived the rest of his life as Bobby Dunbar.
So this is because they didn't actually have DNA testing back then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they were just like, flip a coin.
Yeah, basically.
You got more money? She goes to you. This makes me think of, it's in the Bible. What's the one? It's a story. It's a story in the Bible. And it's like, the lady's like, this is my son.
And they have to cut him in half.
Yeah, the king's like, cut him in half. And she's like, no, you can keep him. And she's like, this is the true mother. They should have done something like that. Like, oh, you guys are fighting over him. Matter of fact, we'll cut him in half. And then Julia would have been like, no, you can keep him. And then they'd be like, you are the son's true mother. I don't know. Because how do you just come to this conclusion? Especially because she brought her crew and they were like, no, she's telling you the truth.
I guess because it was all hearsay. Like it was no actual proof other than people saying, oh yeah, we saw him.
Yeah.
So.
And that wasn't her turf.
Mm-hmm. And she was single.
Sorry, I snapped because it was like a West Side Story thing. I was about to do a West Side Story thing and you went. So no, it wasn't even necessary. Fair point. Mm-hmm. Checkmate. As far as William Walters, which is the uncle of not Bobby Dunbar, of Bruce Anderson. Alleged Bobby Dunbar. He was found guilty of kidnapping and sentenced to life.
I knew it was coming.
Life in prison. He was granted a new trial and released in 1915. Oh, he wasn't there that long.
No, not really. But still, he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
I was going to say, I don't even want to be there a day. Julia returned to North Carolina.
What?
Because I was about to go, North Carolina, come on and raise. Julia returned to North Carolina, where she got married and had 7 children and became a Christian.
Good for her.
She gave her life over.
Yeah.
She often talked about Bruce and referred to the Dunbars as the shameless kidnappers of her son. She only took comfort in knowing that her son was with a wealthy family and that he would enjoy a better life than she could give him. I would feel some type of way if I was his sibling and she was just like, oh, well, you got a wealthy family and we're like eating Spam. I'm just like, curse you, Bruce.
Oh, no.
Why couldn't that have been me? Take me.
No.
I'm tired of eating Spam and Vienna sausages.
I was just about to say. The child known as Bobby Dunbar grew up and married a woman named Marjorie Byers. They had 4 children and lived a comfortable life. Bobby Dunbar's granddaughter, Margaret Dunbar Cutright, was doubtful about her ancestry and started a 4-year investigation to clear everything up. She partnered up with Linda Travers, one of Julia's children. Look at her.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In 2003, Margaret requested a DNA sample from her father, Bobby Dunbar Jr. It was examined against a DNA sample provided by Bobby's brother, Alonzo. The DNA was not a match.
Oh.
You are not the... Oh my God! We thought he was Bobby.
Dang, and he done named his son
Bobby
Dunbar
Jr. Oh my gosh, I did not even think of that.
Oh.
The shame for shame.
Yes.
And they just let him do it. Yeah, go on and name your son. It's a family name. Bobby was not Bobby Dunbar. He wasn't who he was. Nor was he related to the Dunbar family. He wasn't even them's.
His whole life was a lie.
It was a lie. And he was just out here trying to ride a bike and pet ponies.
Damn.
DNA testing was also conducted to determine if he was Bruce Anderson. The results were inconclusive. The boy's identity may never be confirmed. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't Bruce Anderson.
Yeah. So he could still...
Possibly.
It's a possibility. Yeah.
They should have did it again. Run it through again. Just to be safe. Because who else would you be?
Or unless... I don't know. Because why wouldn't they?
Do it again just to be safe.
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Or can you only test it once? Like once it's been tested, that's it. So maybe... Wait, whose DNA? They were testing Margaret's. Right?
Bobby Jr. Bobby Dunbar Jr.
Jr.
Yeah. They tested his and it wasn't a match for sure for the Dunbar family, but then it was inconclusive. It was inconclusive for Bruce Anderson. But who did they match him up with?
Nobody.
They just tested it to see if it was Bobby?
Yeah. To see if it was Bruce.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Bruce. Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Okay.
Because they were testing it against Julia's child. Julia Childs. They were testing it against her child.
And it wasn't a match.
It was inconclusive.
Oh, yeah, they was inconclusive. Yeah. That could be something.
We're going to confuse people. Okay,
so what had happened was the Bruce Anderson of the 4-year-old Bruce. Okay, let me do it again. Okay, so see, the little boy that had came into town after.
You know what?
Okay, so look. So the boy that they was arguing, the boy's identity may never be confirmed.
Margaret's theory is that Bobby drowned in Swayze Lake and was eaten by alligators. Some journalists theorized that the Dunbars accidentally or deliberately caused Bobby's disappearance and used the other boy to cover it up.
Nicholas Barclay.
It's funny how everything goes back to Nicholas Barclay.
I mean, he probably looked into this and was like, or the family learned about this case and was like, you know what, we could kill. No, I'm just kidding. Alleged.
No.
I'm not putting that on that family name.
But I agree with Margaret that he just drowned. I don't know about the alligators, but I think.
What about his hat? They didn't find it. And it would have floated to the top. Maybe an alligator ate his hat.
Or maybe the hat floated somewhere else and because it don't seem like they searched that long in the lake.
I mean, it said that they searched.
They was too busy cutting open alligators.
I'm sure there was only like a select few that could, because they said there was over 500 people.
Yeah, that
came out to help. Help me, please, help. Wait, what was the story? Was it Isaac? Help! Help me, please.
No way. I think, was it him or Joe?
It was Joe. It's like, I have no idea what's even happening anymore with this podcast. Oh, man.
Isaac was the one with the answering machine.
In an interview with the man known as Bobby Dunbar in 1932, he recalls that when he was with his alleged kidnapper, William Walters, there was a boy with them who fell off the wagon and died. William allegedly buried him prior to going into Opelousas. The man known as Bobby Dunbar died of heart disease at a Houston hospital on March 8th, 1966. He was 57 years old. That's young.
That is.
I don't know what life expectancy was back then, but that feels young.
It does.
Yeah.
So
that you're not gonna steal my joy. That's all, folks. Final thoughts? Anyone?
Okay, so we know my theory. Did you say yours? What's yours?
I don't know. I think he's just missing. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't have a theory is what I mean. Like, obviously that kid's not Bobby Dunbar. I believe he's Bruce Anderson.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
I don't know what the heck happened to their kid, Bobby Dunbar. I know that Paul, what's his name? Mizzy, what's his last name?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him.
He's a trash babysitter. That's what I know. You can't watch my kids again because you...
What if he did something to him?
That was... Okay, that's my theory. Because it was reported that he was a close family friend and that he was close to Bobby Dunbar, that he even had like a nickname for him, pet name, and they were really close. So I think, like you had mentioned... I don't know if you said it on the mic, but you mentioned abducted in plain sight. I think it might have even been something like that.
That type of situation.
Yeah, and he's just like pretending to search for him, but he knows what really happened.
The whole time it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like police really didn't do that much. Because why was he not investigated more? Because he was the last, he was the last one that saw him alive.
That's true. But I guess if they felt like he didn't have any ulterior motives, he's told them they were walking back. I joked with him. Next thing I knew, we pull up and he's not there.
Okay.
But you definitely should always have, rule of thumb, have your kids walk in front of you. Don't, why would you let kids walk behind you? I don't even trust y'all to look after each other. No. Where's your brother? Oh, I thought you had.
I think he drowned. And you think?
I think I was going to say
Paul.
Percy. Paul had something, because Percy's his dad.
Yeah.
Paul had something to do with his disappearance.
Please follow us on Instagram at It's a Strange World Podcast and Twitter at Pod Strange World. We would love to hear what you guys think about this case.
Yes. Also, any suggestion on other cases or strange phenomena you would like to hear from us, let us know. Even just to say, hey, hello, how you doing? My name is... If you just want to say, hey, we'll talk to you, you know.
This has been another episode of
It's a Strange World After All.
That one was a little off.
And thank you for always keeping it strange with us. Seriously, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I wasn't done.
No, I was saying thank
you.
Oh.
It was like the wrap it up music. Wrap it up. No, I just want to say thank you for the fans that we do have.
Yes.
This has been amazing. This isn't like a farewell. I just really wanted to say thank you.
We appreciate everybody that's listening.
The Strange group is small but mighty. We love you guys. Keep listening. Bye.